You're watching the Fox 8 10 o'clock news with Neill McNeill, Katie Nordine, and Max Weather Chief Meteorologist Van Denton.
Tonight marks the end of the 2017 Spring High Point Furniture Market. It is North Carolina's largest single event that brings between 70 and 80,000 people to the Piedmont.
So this means downtown High Point will go silent for the next 6 months until the fall market in October, right? Well, not if tonight's Newsmaker has anything to do with it. Ray Gibbs runs Forward High Point, a brand new public-private partnership with a mission: bring life to downtown outside of furniture market. And Gibbs, he sees a lot of potential. High Point, North Carolina, for 5 days twice a year, the home of the largest furniture industry trade show in the world. 10 million square feet of showroom space and 180 buildings that house roughly 2,000 exhibitors. During the High Point market, downtown is about as vibrant as a city this size can be.
We don't want to lose the market. We want to enhance the market. But High Point's still a city of over 100,000 people who live here year-round, not just during the market. So that is bigger than most of the cities in North Carolina, most of which are seeing growth in their downtowns.
Ray Gibbs should know, for 8 years in the late 90s, early 2000s, he ran Downtown Greensboro Incorporated, the nonprofit development organization credited with spurring new life in that city's downtown. Now, after spending a few years in the private sector, he's the current single employee of Forward High Point, an organization that gets $250,000 annually from the city and has a board that includes people in the business community, the mayor, and city manager.
And what we're trying to do is really kind of build a new 12-month-a-year downtown.
Geographically, the plan's simple. The train depot and the railroad tracks beside it mark a dividing line. Everything south of the depot will be what Gibbs calls the furniture district. It includes the big showroom buildings, which will pretty much stay the same year-round. But everything north of the depot, from a development standpoint, you could call it the promised land.
Now there becomes other options for those property owners, that they don't have a furniture showroom as the only option that they can rent to. They can rent to somebody who may want to open a restaurant or may want to open a bakery or open an artisan shop of some sort.
But to get to that point, Gibbs feels you need a couple of catalysts, none of which is bigger than the $30 million stadium the city plans to build and Forward High Point plans to develop. It'll be a multi-purpose facility that, in addition to hosting baseball, will be capable of hosting soccer games and football games, not to mention concerts. Plans call for leveling the old High Point Enterprise building and several surrounding buildings and putting the stadium there. If you build the stadium, what will that stadium bring with it? What will it produce?
The studies that were done for us, we asked them and told them, we want you to be as conservative as you can be on these. And what we saw and heard was residentially 150 to 200 units. I think that's conservative. I think we will probably see 300 plus from that.
And that doesn't include the surrounding new restaurants, retail, and office space this stadium should help produce. How soon do you see a stadium up and running here?
Our timeline is very aggressive because our hope is that we could have a team playing in April of 2019.
Gibbs also has another catalyst project in the works. This office, retail, residential restaurant development on North Main Street, about a block and a half from the stadium site. And for inspiration, Gibbs is looking no farther than High Point University, just a few miles away.
I think the growth of HPU is really at the heart of the excitement that is going on in High Point now. That, they have shown that we can grow, that we can be outstanding. And to do that, we need to have an active community, one that's attractive, one that's exciting, and one that's sociably accepting. We no longer want to just accept we are who we are. We want to be better.
The city of High Point recently approved $15 million to buy land for that new stadium and to pay for its preliminary design and environmental studies. Once built, the stadium will be owned by the city, but leased to and run by a group that owns the baseball team that plays in it. Forward High Point already has a commitment from the Independent Atlantic League for a team franchise pending completion of the ballpark and other stipulations.
And Neill, no doubt people at home watching this wondering, are my taxes going to go up? Are the city taxes going up?
No, at least that is not the plan. Any debt the city would accumulate from building the stadium would be paid off by several things, including lease payments, the sale of naming rights of the stadium, a percentage of ticket sales, and maybe even the new tax revenue generated by all the downtown businesses the stadium will attract. Any way you look at it, Katie, it's significant because this is the first time the city of High Point, at least since I've been here, has gotten this aggressive in terms of doing something like this. So it'll be interesting to see
Aggressive
how it turns out.
timeline, too, as you pointed out.
Aggressive timeline. You got it.